teasing rather than making game for Hanwha Life eSports that punished those plays from T1.
Yeah.
And Faker, it looked like he was already like palm leader. Like it was all said and done, and then just a few mistakes, and suddenly Hanwha Life eSports snap up the win.
Yeah, things kind of fell apart. However, there is a game number 2 now, so we'll see whether T1 can draw this one out to a 3-gamer, which I think we all deserve. Let's be honest. Once again, T1 are going to be banning away the Aurora, the Ashe, and maybe then the Akali. If we are going to have exactly the same bans, Ezreal was the final ban for HLE. Does make a bit of sense there as well, as Peyz certainly a bit of an enthusiast of that champion, but instead of the Akali, they will take away the Vi instead. Said instead too many times.
So, I mean, so many broken picks are gone already in this draft because of the way it went. It's kind of wild. Caitlyn will get banned away. So a lot of these comfort picks make a lot of sense. The Vi, the Aurora with the Ashe all make sense. Jay's stock's kind of up because the Yorick is gone, but I don't think you necessarily want to pick it early in a draft like this, or maybe even at all, because it has run into problems with Sion, for example, as well. First pick is so difficult. I'm surprised T1 even went with it in this draft here in Game 2, and they're going to go for the Milio first pick?
Wait, Milio first pick, but then you can play Lucian with other stuff.
Yeah, is it like, is Peyz baiting because he's going to play Milio Aphelios like the old days?
Could be a thing.
Because Guma, he already proved that he loves to play the Lucian. He's still very good at Lucian. He's incredible at this pick.
Yeah, and
this feels like a bait, right? It feels like they want him to play Lucian.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they want him to play like Lucian Nami or something like that, which isn't necessarily as good of a lane. But
see what he's going to do. They're going to get the Xin for Kanavi first. They used all that time, because they knew they were going to lock Xin here, but they use all that time to discuss what they want to do with their bottom lane. And then they can reset the timer with a lock-in of the Xin.
And let's see whether it is going to be a bottom lane lock-in or whether they are just okay.
Lulu is available.
With the Milio Lucian.
And you could just go for a Yunara pick, but they're locking the Lucian. They're slamming it down. They're accepting the challenge or walking into whatever T1 thinks they're setting up here.
This could be a T1 trap that
I think it is, right? Like, it's got to be. But is it just Milio Aphelios, or what else? Is it going to be Peyz pulling out the Jinx here or something?
Is he going to play Kog'Maw again? That'd be fun. I don't know whether it'd be good with Milio, but I mean, it's a thing. It kind of needs Lulu, as far as I know.
If with other teams, I would see this as a huge mistake to go for the Milio first, especially with Guma on the other side. But we knew there's something in this, and like, if you're confident in your Aphelios, I mentioned it earlier, Peyz has had some great performances on it before it fell out of the meta. You can just go, all right, I think we win this, by the way. And Peyz had such an incredible game 1. It was insane. So I'm kind of hyped for seeing how this one plays out.
Yeah, me too. And I'm very interested in what Delight is actually going to play in this lane as well, alongside the Lucian, as Faker picks up the Twisted Fate. And that is going to be unanswerable if they are going to lock in a support. This could be a support, or a top laner, or a mid laner. That is mostly going to Zeka. He has a pretty cool skin on that one.
Quite formidable into the Twisted Fate, but also, depending on the timings, can just be shut down by a cold card. You got to use your Shroud well.
Yep.
I want to say this is a flex. Let's wait and see. It is also a fairly good answer into a possible Doran Twisted Fate on the top side, if that ended up being the case. I don't think that will be, but something to keep in mind. We have seen in the years past.
I'm a little bit worried about the whole Lucian situation, though, because you do kind of need specific support.
Well, yeah, you need a Nami. You don't have Bard in this one.
Imagine if they ban Nami Sona. It would be very funny.
Like
theoretically, I mean, there are other things that you could play with it. Yeah, exactly right.
But Yumi
like, there
doesn't
are other
feel
things
great
on the list.
Here. See what they do. This is quite interesting. Now, with Twisted Fate Pantheon, all the global power that has and the CC they have to line it up is just too much. That one needed to be banned. Rel is going to be taken away. That's a pretty Delight-specific champ that I think almost literally no one would play but Delight with the Lucian in the lane.
Yeah, pretty out there. I think Polu would have done it, but he doesn't play anymore. So I guess he's sort of off the list.
Do they ban Leona? I don't think so. I mean, also, Leona's terrible into Milio because she just, all of the stuff she's trying to do, Milio says no to.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit with what Lucian wants
just
to do.
Ban Lee Sin again. Okay, they're going to ban the Jace with no Yorick response. They don't want to play the Anivia top into it necessarily.
Yep, looks like it could be a Zeus pick. Obviously, this Anivia is very flexible.
Don't forget that, like, if the Anivia does go out, like Zeka could still play like Silas into Twisted Fate. There's a lot of potential here in this draft for Hanwha Life just yet.
I have heard that Zeka is pretty good at Twisted Fate.
Anar is banned.
Oh, is it a Renekton angle? That's the question.
Alistar Lucian just really doesn't have a ring to it that I've ever heard. It's
Alistar? Yeah,
it's like a sound that humans can't hear. The ring that it makes.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It annoys dogs everywhere.
The only ring is the one in his nose. That is Pike, Blitzcrank, Lucian Senna? And it's going to be the cow.
All of those, okay. I felt good about the Alistar rotation until they flipped around all of those, and then I started to feel like they really didn't have a plan here for locking Lucian plus question mark with the Milio coming through.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Lucian Alistar lane.
I mean, this is kind of reminiscent of when Keria, wasn't it in Game 5 against Dirix, they banned the Lux so to prevent Keria from first picking Lux in that game in the World Finals. But like that was the situation they wanted to prevent, the one that's happening right now. As Sion will get picked here as a very safe pick for Doran in the top lane.
Yep. Something that, could run into some issues with an Anivia that gets sort of out of control as Oner thinking about going for the Lee Sin. I mean, the setup with the Twisted Fate is very scary, and now he's grinning because Keria is hovering a Jax for him. We had a little bit of fun there as well. You actually have a really nice matchup into the Xin Zhao that really does like to get those auto attacks down. But instead,
is too free with the Twisted Fate. It's just so easy to play it out. And they have such a front line for this Aphelios. And like you said, it's Oner, it's Comfort. I mean, Comfort doesn't do it justice what it is. It's pure dominance.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's a pick here that saves this draft for me if I'm watching Hanwha Life. And also, like, this is not a Kanavi, this is not an HLE draft with the Lucian, Alistar, Anivia.
That's a Gwen, and that'll be locked in for Zeus. Pretty good at cutting down tanks, obviously, but I'm feeling like this HLE draft may have cooked a little hard.
I think it just kind of ran out of ingredients. Doran, his itemization becomes very simple with an Anivia and a Gwen on the other side, as the Lucian is looking for other targets. The Lucian attack damage is looking for killing the priority Twisted Fate, or if he's lucky, killing Peyz on this Aphelios. Peyz Aphelios is two words we would say together a lot at the beginning of his career. It was one of his best picks alongside the Zeri. And yet, we haven't seen it in a really long time because Aphelios has really fallen out of the meta. We thought maybe it would come back with role quests and how good they are for Aphelios at the beginning of this year, but it just never really eventuated here in the LCK. But they get this Milio first pick. They trust Peyz's Aphelios. They deny the Milio from the Lucian. And unfortunately for Hanwha Life eSports, they wanted to put their prio elsewhere and did not give a strong lane partner to Guma. So now we have this Alistar Lucian lane that I'm not ready to trust in right now. I mean, Hanwha Life eSports have pulled rabbits out of a hat a few times this season. I just don't know if I'm seeing the ears right now.
Yeah, I do. Like, there are some things that I really like about the Alistar pick, just because Milio is really good at mitigating stuns and things like that. Knockup's a little bit more difficult, but like you say, the lane is going to be real rough. Let's see how it goes as we get onto the Rift for Game 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 2. And I have to say, after the draft, I'm feeling like things are looking good for a game number 3. However, HLE played a really, really nice mid to late game in game number 1. And this composition, it does have legs, right? There is a Gwen that's going to be very difficult to kill in side lanes. It's the double circle composition with the Xin Zhao Gwen combo, and it's Kanavi on his Xin. He is very, very good at this champion. I'm just looking at T1. They've got an Aphelios for the late game. They've got a Sion to stand in front, and they've got Faker to control the mid game as well on this Twisted Fate. And he was doing that on Annie. Now he has the ability to kind of be everywhere.
This is the first Anivia game for Zeka. It has been played 3 times by Zeus for Hanwha Life eSports, but never by Zeka. So that shouldn't come as a shock when you consider that Zeus is one of the first top laners alongside King to play it in the LCK, and also that it just doesn't really suit Zeka's playstyle all too much. He likes to play the melees, he likes to play a little bit more explosive stuff, as we saw with the Azir in the previous set. Doing a lot of damage with this Electrocute here in this trade, though.
Yeah, does very well there.
We've seen only really one player play Anivia like it's supposed to be in a dive comp, and his name is Chovy. We've seen the crazy walls, the aggressive flash Qs.
I have to say, Scout also had some pretty incredible performances, really making it look like a hard counter to the Rise, as we saw earlier, as Kanavi
Level 3
just
Kanavi. Who could have
flashed
seen
over the Dragon Wall, and Delight looking to taxi in, gets the flash pulverize, as Peyz, realizing that he's going to have to take the long exit. Gumayusi flashes away from him, flashes after him, and picks up first blood.
I mean, this was something that, and it's crazy to say this, the echoes of a retired player here, but something we'd see Peanut do all the time on picks like this, flashing the Dragon Wall, expecting the ward to be there, because Peyz and Keria did their due diligence, right? Well, maybe not enough due diligence for a player like Kanavi, but they had the ward and the tri-brush. They felt safe. They felt like they had enough space here, but Kanavi circumvents it entirely, as you mentioned, with the flash over the Dragon Pit. And then Delight sets this up, and Peyz is just like, well, I gotta sacrifice myself here. Wants to get a flash out of Guma. Is able to get that with his, but definitely a huge loss here for T1 in this play. And once again, Kanavi popping off. As you can see, these are the first picks of 3 of the players, including Delight.
Yeah,
on this Alistar.
Crazy. And it was only very recently that Gumayusi went back to this Lucian as well. As you mentioned, was in their previous matchup. Had a bit of a pop-up performance there as, wow, T1 have been pretty successful on these ones so far in the LCK. But it's a good start for HLE in this game, moving up to a 500 gold lead. Still going to be opportunities, I think, for T1 to be able to make that up, especially with Faker just getting more gold in the mid lane. Will be able to help mitigate it. However, on the top side of the map, I think that Doran's woes will continue from now until he's not playing Sion anymore.
True. That's not, he's, the Rejuve bead in his inventory is just like a collector's item.
Yeah.
He's got.
I mean, he's going to get a lot of value out of it, because I don't think he's going to have all of his health for very much in this game.
This matchup here in the mid lane has been pretty fiery, but Faker obviously has his Twisted Fate passive, but has a significant CS advantage at the moment as well. So,
yeah,
pretty good start for him.
Really in a bit of trouble as Oner is spotted on some vision. Faker is there to protect, though, so it looks like Oner is just going to very comfortably steal this one away, can safeguard over to the Twisted Fate as well. As Kanavi has eyes for only the bottom lane.
Yeah, he loves this lane.
Well, there's the fire kick out from Keria, just to try and deter Delight from finding too much. As Kanavi has decided instead he wants to try and go toe-to-toe with Oner.
Now Faker may be a bit far up here. I think he's going to play respectfully. He does back away.
Yep, Kanavi ward going to get spotted.
Yeah, he's going to clear this ward, and that'll be the best he can get here, but good play there from Faker. Good scryer, or rather good response to the scryer, which spotted Oner. And yeah, if you're a Zeus fan, you're probably going to enjoy watching this. Doran, let's try to trade back here. His early Sion is very annoying, but now Zeus has ult. And if he can get past Doran's, might actually have even an angle for kill pressure.
Yeah, this is it's a scary time to be the Sion here in this lane.
Sometimes even just tempo ult the Sion as the Gwen and say, see you later. They are going to get this first dragon. The prio they have in mid right now as Faker's backing away. Oner could look for a steal, but Delight's trying to deny.
Yeah, Hex Flash to get Delight over there, and we'll be able to find Oner. The Tempest Cripple does come on down as the headbutt over the wall is going to fail from Delight, and the Destiny is going to come on through. The Dragon still hasn't been taken. Decent Pulverize there as well to try and create some space as Kanavi is now just dead. Oner's able to lock that one down as Delight just really confused about where to go, and Faker is just going to be able to follow him here. Finally picks up the kill, was giving Peyz an opportunity to get it, and Faker's like, well, I'll just kill him.
They wanted Peyz to have it so badly. Peyz ghosts as well, but ultimately it goes over to Faker. Peyz doesn't even get the assist.
So much wasted time here for HLE as well.
The beginning of the fight, I thought, wow, Delight's making such a critical sacrifice here to get the dragon stack. And Kanavi was like, whoa, 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 I could kill champions.
Forget me off this silly dragon.
Dumb dragon. It's a mountain dragon. I heard that's a defensive one.
We don't want those.
I was like, watch this until he's like, okay, I'm going to keep Oner at bay here, get the information, gets a knock up, and Kanavi's like, hold up. We could fight. Just drops the dragon here. Twisted Fate has his ultimate available. This is very silly. And also the Anivia early on in the game just cannot offer that much damage. So Zeka puts his ult down and they just completely ignore it. Peyz wasn't even here. And he's trying desperately to be here, but
he ghosted, tried to like get that Infernum Q to land. And that didn't work. And so Faker is able to just lock down the kill with the gold card. Kanavi gonna get tagged by Oner here as well, who's gonna steal away the Raptor camp and then gets the safeguard and kickback. Faker moving on over and is just gonna get stunned as he shows up. The flash out from Kanavi as Zeka might be going down to the egg, but it's Zeus that shows up to pay his old teammates a visit. Good flash from Faker to deny the flash engage from Delight. HLE do even out the kill score, but this game is crazy.
Okay, well, there was some missed things there. Including my call, because it wasn't a true insect from Oner as he used the safeguard and not a flash, but Faker also very low.
Wait, hang on a second. Faker is gonna have to heal and will escape.
Both times he out-tracked mana from Zeus, or from Zeka rather. Game 1 he was like, I have enough mana to kill you. He's like, you don't have enough mana to kill me. No, Oner uses the safeguard here, hop to get the kick, and then uses his flash after Kanavi gets away to try to actually push Zeka into egg here with Faker's gold card. Zeka actually, though, does get the egg proc, but then he has the wall right before that to lock Oner down. So Oner dies for this. Delight tries to make a play and unfortunately is not able to connect there. So it looked a little bit silly, but we're now even in gold. We're even in kills. And it looks like game 2, at the beginning we were like, I'm not sure if it's going to be as epic as game 1. Looking like it might be heading in that direction.
And the thing that it would be really crazy if HLE managed to win this game, it means that they are still plagued by the Gwen, even if now the player that lost to the Gwen when they were playing against Bin is the one piloting it against them. Oh my goodness, it's just too many layers. Zeus is looking in a really good spot right now. 800 gold in the lead over Doran. Obviously Doran is still going to have value, he is a Sion. But if the Gwen gets out of control...
Faker's lead is pretty huge at the moment here for T1. I agree with what you're saying, like the side lane power here for Zeus could be massive, especially if they get all these grubs. And right now it looks like that is going to be the case. Faker does have his ultimate, but doesn't have the prio to actually get over there and do anything about this. So the Gwen pick, you're going to lead to the grubs and then empower her in upcoming sides. So for T1, I'm mostly curious about whether or not Doran will be stable enough in this game to be the front line that Peyz desperately needs to carry.
Yeah, and I think if Peyz is able to play the game the way he wants, Sion just needs to exist. You know, maybe don't go 0-9, but like that's all that you really need to worry about. And right now, 0-0-0 falling behind a little bit in farm, but that's not too bad. And might even be able to grab a kill as Oner just barely not in the mist. Oh, that was not exactly what they wanted to see as the needlework comes down, just dashes away from the Sonic Wave. And Zeus able to outplay it.
Silly. All right. Bit of a whiff there from T1, even though the opportunity was quite high. And Zeus outplays it. And Faker continues to be bullied and yet be ahead on farm. He's got his catalyst, so he's like, yeah, you can try to whittle away at my health, but I really just don't care about it.
He's having a very good time on this Twist of Fate. As this was picked, I believe, was it face up? No, it was not. So the Anivia was already there. Obviously, we didn't quite know where it was going. But the TF feeling like the answer that Faker was looking for into this pick. And Zeka is, you know, still doing fine. The problem is the stack deck will always make an even game state look very one-sided. And it's not even when he gets a kill.
Yeah, he has a kill, he has the farm lead, so even more stack deck. Good news for Hanwha Life eSports is Zeus and Kanavi have just gotten their first items in the Riftmaker and the Sundered Sky, so a lot of power for the next fight here, which could be happening in about 20 seconds time on this Dragon. T1 have prio here on the bottom side, but not in mid. Kanavi's coming down here to look for a potential pick. Oner's going to clear vision.
Ooh, Faker is going to get stunned up. Good wall placement there from Zeka to get that trade working out. Still takes some wildcard damage on his way out. Q connects onto Kanavi, but that is not one that Oner wants to go in for.
I think it would be unwise for T1 to heavily commit to this fight now that Peyz doesn't have red-white anymore. His red gun expired, and he's on Calibrum here now, and this is going to be a Twisted Fate that's kind of pinned down. Could try to ult his way to the fight and kind of cheat his way in, but I think Hanwha Life eSports is prio in control with this Lucian on Essence Reaver right now. It's just not a fight you want to take in any world.
Well, they are still hedging.
Oh, I mean, Oner is on vision. He gets the Q.
Yeah, connects that one. Delight is just ready to intercept, though. There was no way he was making his way in. And Kanavi gets a nice smite to lock down that Drake. Cloud Soul, once again, thank you T1. Always so good at delivering Cloud Souls. I feel like we just haven't had very many.
It's crazy. Every time I cast with you, it happens with T1 specifically.
Yep. It is specifically T1. Oftentimes, it is Mountain Infernal. And the Cloud, this time we had a little bit of an Ocean, as Faker is going to get stunned, but not in the Glacial Storm and behind the wall. So Zeka doing a few things negatively there, but Oner does not, does just find the kick, as the Pulverize connects onto Oner, and the kitchen sink comes down on top of him. 3 Talon Strike is going to allow Kanavi to grab that kill, as now Oner might just be dead as well. Peyz turns up on the top side of the map though, and Zeus is looking to try and turn it because he knows he is very dead. The flash comes through, Doran was already backing.
And finally, Peyz gets a kill.
Yeah.
Finally got that kill. Flanking Milio, helping secure it there. Guma's got some extra free time down here on the bottom side of the map, but definitely a big win for T1. This game is just, it's constant back and forth. A little bit less kills than we had in the previous game, but the action is constant, as Peyz is even going to get some extra plate gold, it looks like they're on the top side of the map.
Yeah, got 2, thanks to the Crystalline Overgrowth.
Really huge.
And Hex Flash from Delight, and Kanavi is back once again. Flash comes out, at least the gold card is going to be there, but this time the wall is true. And Zeka even has eggs, so he is never going to die in that instance, and another kill goes over to the Zinzao.
Well, the problem with this egg for T1 and this play here in terms of trying to knock him out, but in the previous play where Oner was trying to play aggressively, is that you don't really have kill pressure on him unless you're in a really commanding position. But trying to kind of like steal a kill onto the Anivia isn't going to work because you're at best going to get the egg with heavy consequences. So Oner tries to opt out. I don't know if we'll have a replay of it or not, but just was not really, unfortunately, for T1 a great angle. On the top side, though, they were able to salvage it and get that kill onto Zeus. Doran survives. And yes, Zeus is still 800 gold ahead, and Kanavi picked up a second kill there, but T1 have some gold where it needs to be, right? The Twisted Fate is naturally ahead, but Peyz pulls ahead of this Lucian pick that just has not really gotten off the ground just yet. Doesn't mean it can't, but T1 have picked their battles pretty appropriately.
Yeah, I would agree. I do think that it is very scary that Zeus has a lead like he does. I just don't see the answers to a fed Gwen.
In this draft, yeah, it's pretty... We're kind of missing it.
Yeah. So, Faker, of course, like you say, big lead for him, but a Twisted Fate, do you use that gold, all that? Like, his kit is kind of built around always being ahead in gold, like that's how he's balanced.
Yes.
So it does make this gold advantage for T1 just feel a little bit fake.
If T1 had a bigger lead elsewhere, it would feel like, okay, Faker's going to get his rapid fire cannon faster because of this lead, and so therefore they can be more oppressive. But their composition is playing into a Gwen. They don't have the tempo lead on the map because they don't have a strong side lane setup. If they had anything but a Sion with the Twisted Fate, you'd feel like, okay, well, they can make side lane plays. It's not going to happen in this one without a lot of resources being committed, like we saw when they did just kill Zeus there on the top side moments ago. But there's a turret up there. That's not going to be around for too much longer, and that's kind of where Zeus wants to be, is next to the turrets right now. I like the Aphelios angle, though, for where Peyz is set up to be. Yeah. As HLE are going to look for this Rift Herald, which would be further turret damage here on top of the grubs they already picked up for the Gwen. And it doesn't look like T1 have an easy path to contest, and Doran is just too far away. It should be Herald going over with no contest, as Peyz is trying to get some plate gold in the interim.
Yeah, he should be able to do that. Almost grabs that fourth one. But Gumayusi able to hold on to that turret for now by eliminating the minions.
He's got 17 of that Severum left. I don't think he's going to have a full set for this upcoming Dragon fight.
Will only be double Dragon for either team, right? Going 1-for-1 on Drakes means that we don't have anyone really snowballing that one just yet. Still, T1 right now with vision control of the area based on a complete lack of any vision for HLE. As Zeka puts his Sork shoes together, they immediately upgrade. And Kanavi hits level 11. Getting a second point into that Crescent Guard is going to be a big deal moving further on into this game.
20 seconds on Dragon. For the first time in a while, T1 actually have a decent amount of prio for it. They push the Lucian away. Zeus has TP.
Oh, that was beautiful positioning for the Mist. Zeus is unable to get attacked. Faker taking a lot of damage there.
Yeah. Tier 3 boots here for Zeka now online, meaning he's starting to hurt a little bit more than he was earlier. And this Dragon is so pivotal for whoever gets it. And the fight is being set up right now As it looks like Oner might actually have an angle here with Faker.
Yep, Destiny comes down. Great wall to stop Oner from coming in. However, he just sort of bides his time. Stun does come on through, though, and the Glacial Storm goes down. That is going to deter them from the dive. There is the Rift Herald being thrown into the mid lane. We'll be able to grab a whole bunch of plate gold, but the teleport in from Doran, they are committing to getting this second dragon for themselves. Like Zeus, he doesn't have to.
But like I said the last time when they tried to kill Zeka, he's got eggs, so not the greatest target. T1 are going to hold this dragon, though.
Yeah, I actually think that HLE giving this up is a really good call. Kanavi says, well, I can just steal away the rest of Oner's jungle, and Zeus grabs first brick here at the same time. Interruption there onto Doran.
They got Doran's TP. They interrupt Doran, which is annoying to him, so that's going to buy them even further time. Kanavi is shadowing Zeus on the top side. Not that he really needs it right now, but he is actually going to waste some minions here. And Zeka's kind of weak-siding on the bottom side of the map here. Faker used his Destiny Gate, so he cannot actually make any proactive plays after they get that dragon.
Man, that's a big swing of gold.
Yeah, it's suddenly
more
just like
plate
that.
Money. Is this just going to go down? Because they have the 3 grubs as well as this full minion wave. As Guma throws out the Ardent Blaze to get another Light Slinger, but that is just not quite enough to take this down. But man, it's on a silver platter now.
Yeah, and the bottom turret is taking a significant amount of damage as well from that Lucian push earlier on in the game. So 2 turrets here nearly for the taking for Hanwha Life eSports. Peyz is on IE now, though. And you know, in the upcoming fight, he's going to be potentially quite large if he's set up correctly. As Doran TP'd in the last fight, but wasn't able to set up for a fight because Hanwha Life eSports opted out. But 5v5 is still incredibly strong here for T1, and it's going to take a little bit longer for Zeka to do the amount of damage he needs to, I think, in this game for him to outweigh the utility of this TF pick.
And there is all of the flashes up and available right now. The next fight that we're looking for is probably going to be in 3.5 minutes unless Faker gets closed in on. Kanavi is obviously very restless. You know, I feel like we haven't had enough kills in this game so far as he looks to get in on top of both Faker and Oner at the same time. Delight turns up, good kick to deny any re-engage, but there's the exhaust down onto Oner.
I think that's 2 more turrets.
And there is the fire kick. Immediately, Delight just goes in onto Peyz, but I have a feeling he might be going down. However, the Unbreakable Will makes him so safe. Gumayusi with the culling, looking to get on top of his former teammates as Peyz will get eliminated by the Lucian, but he goes down as well. Oner puts him down, and HLE, I mean, 1 for 1. I don't know whether they consider that exactly a win, and now they're looking for even more as Doran right in that front line, but flashing out of there immediately. The double pulverize onto Faker and Doran is beautiful, and over goes Kanavi as he goes in once again. Doran taken out at the same time, and HLE, they find that team fight they were looking for.
Delight with 1 more headbutt gets Doran zombie out of there. And Kanavi's so disappointed there's no wolves in there. Well, I said right before this fight breaks out, it looks like this is going to be 2 more turrets when this happens here, because look at Guma in the mid lane. He's pushing up. There's 1 plate left. They're completely abandoning the mid turret, and it's going to be so difficult for T1 to fight their way out of this. With the wave pushing in the bottom lane, I thought T1 just walk away, but instead they opt in to HLE's comfort zone here in this fight. Delight is so tanky with his ultimate, so difficult to kill. Now you're in a choke point against this Gwen. Peyz takes insane amounts of damage, and by the way, because Guma has that Bryo in the mid, he can rotate over. It takes him a little while. He sacrifices himself to do enough damage here to where this fight is just going to ultimately become a wash. As watch these final moments here as well from HLE. Delight gets this angle here after Doran flashes away to get the knock-up onto Faker.
Oh, Delight as well. That pulverize, absolutely
Kanavi,
gorgeous.
He's just able to follow over the wall, and Doran is left alone. They just picked this team apart. And the sacrifice of Gumayusi was absolutely warranted there.
I mean, so much of this T1 composition hinges around Peyz being alive, right? So you're exactly right. Guma just says, well, I'll die, but I'll take the most important player on the enemy team with me.
And like you said earlier, this Gwen, there just isn't really a great answer. Now they're looking for Baron here.
And Zeus does a number on the Baron as well, as Delight just looking to play interference. In goes Doran, but he gets knocked out immediately. That is the Baron secured, but the Gwen is down already. Faker locks that one up, and Delight is also dead. And 2 for Baron is probably not enough to help this Rebel Baron power play work out. As Gumayusi, he does need to go home, and Oner is not going to let him. He gets the smite down, and that is going to be even more kills over to T1. 4 for a Baron is absolutely not worth.
I thought he was going to get out of there, but Oner gets in. is able to get there close enough, smites him to stop the back, and down he goes. So only Zeka is the last one standing here. At least Anivia is pretty good with the Baron, but this initially looks like for Hanwha Life eSports, like they've kind of got this one on lock, but it's that last 4,000 health. Doran gets in here on a Kanavi, and they do end up getting the secure, but Faker shows up, and now Hanwha Life eSports have to fight their way out, but there's too much T1 on their side of the map, so they have to kite back, and they don't have enough members here anymore. The Anivia is cut off, and so Guma tries to recall here, and look at Oner. He's like, you guys got Kanavi, I got this. Yeah. Goes in, smites Guma, and denies his back, then kites away, so they can actually give the kill over.
And they should also get the inside track on this Dragon as well.
Peyz is huge in this game now.
Oh yeah, red-white guns prepared at the same time, but HLE still wanting to fight for this, obviously. They're HLE. It's going to be Peyz locking down the Drake, as well as Doran is going to get walled off from the rest of his teammates, and the circles are getting set up to make sure that the follow-up is not quite there. Still, Doran tanky enough just to stand in front and lock down that Dragon for his teammates.
That Infernum visual comes out too, and HLE don't want any part of that. He does not ult, but he has the Infernum swap, and they just peace out, go straight to the mid lane, and try to, with the remnants of this Baron here that is held by Zeka, get some damage done, and they do get a significant amount of damage done. They get that whole inner, and it's just so point here for T1 on the Dragon. So a great macro call here from HLE to nope out and find value elsewhere.
Yeah. Still, I mean, Soul Point is a big deal, and Keria going to have to flash to get out of the way of HLE. This Rebel Baron power play is still an absolute disaster for HLE, as we can see, as they look to rotate towards the top side. Only 40 seconds left to go, and I don't think they're going to find any more value, as Oner was searching for a little bit of an inroad here. Not quite able to find it.
Zeka
is going to deny.
A significant lead over Faker in terms of experience, despite both rods completing. He actually just has a natural huge advantage. He's going to get level 16 soon. I just don't know if that level of scaling compares to what Peyz has on the other side right now in this game. It is crazy what he has been able to put together. Faker's going to get this turret as well. Surprised that one's still alive.
Well, not going to be any more, as the Seraphs comes in immediately from Zeka as he does complete his second item.
As the dust settles, it's minus 3,000 on the Baron secure.
Yeah,
it's the window back into the game for Peyz. It's a window back into the game for Peyz. It's a window back in for Faker. By the way, who picks up that rapid fire cannon. We were talking about how that's the big one. Does have it here with the Lich Bane. And so, does the Lucian ever get to threaten anybody in this game right now? You dash forward, get stunned by Faker, you're dead. If you dash forward, get kicked by Oner, caught by Doran, who might be on a flank. It's hard for him to play the game, and Zeka, like I said before, is close to 16, but he's still just Anivia, and his damage is kind of conditional on one circular location, whereas Peyz is like, I kill everybody. Maybe not the Gwen. And that's, I think, how HLE have to play the game now, is just run away from team fights for the next 2.5 minutes and try to get some side lane value here.
Yeah, I think it's kind of in Zeus we trust, if you're an HLE fan. On the other side, T1 just very happy to play some front-to-back League of Legends, and so far, 1,000 gold in the lead. 2.5 minutes on this Soul availability for them as well. They can give up as many Drakes as they like, and the Baron is spawning just prior to that. So playing the map becomes so much easier here for T1 at this stage. I really do feel like the chances of that coveted third game...
That feels high.
Yeah, it's getting higher.
Feels really high here. I think the ways that this game go wrong are Peyz getting caught somehow. Kanavi finds an angle onto him, gets on top of him, gets the knock-up. You know, the follow-up is there. Guma bursts, even if he gets Milio ulted. And when Peyz is dead, T1's comp doesn't work, period. They need him to be alive. He does all of their damage. So if you can find and kill this guy, you can still win this game as HLE and close out the series 2-0, but easier said than done.
Yeah.
With everything that T1 have to peel for him.
T1 will be able to shove this wave towards this inner turret in the mid lane. It's going to buy them a fair bit of map control, but next wave will be conga lining in relatively soon. And a flank angle for Zeus gets spotted immediately, but the damage is mitigated as Peyz puts together his red-white guns, full ammo on both.
90 seconds until Dragon. It's almost a little bit too early for those, but he is ready to do massive amounts of damage. Doran, again, the itemization quite simple for him in this game with the Anivia and the Gwen. Is a really huge brick wall.
Yeah.
So...
has actually been farming very effectively. Wasn't able to get quite the plate money that Zeus put together.
He's kind of helping shut down the Gwen. Not that in a 1v1 he'll win that long term, but he can survive long enough to where a rotation can happen. Faker can ult up and then shut down the Gwen, or Oner can show up and And then it's really tough for Zeus to actually continue the push. So he has not really been able to, outside of those obvious outer turrets, get real side lane pressure done on the opposite side of the map with the objective. And now this next objective he can't just opt out of because it's the Cloud Soul here for T1. So he can't just say, well, we'll give this one, I'll get the inner turret on the top side. He's going to have to TP in. And this may be the moment where Peyz pops off here on 3 items and cleans this game up for T1. Or Hanwha Life eSports kill him, maybe take the 2-0. And this is a really pivotal dragon fight. There's the TP from Delight with Unsealed, and eventually Zeus is going to have to join as well. Hanwha Life eSports almost like they want to threaten a Baron trade.
Yeah, and that could be the option. Obviously, Cloud Soul is going to be very valuable as the teleport comes in. Immediately, Delight going to use that cleanse that he picked up immediately after that teleport in order to get rid of the gold card.
Doran's shield is almost taken out.
Yeah, gold card is going to connect onto Kanavi here. But HLE still keeping their health bars together as the Glacial Storm comes down. Decent stun onto Doran as Faker possibly in a bit of trouble. Good wall placement. Doran is the one that eats most of the damage. They want to just take down the front line where they can. Gold card is going to connect onto Zeka. Zeus just lying in wait. The Destiny comes on forward, gives them the full vision as there's the flank angle onto Kanavi. But looks like the fight is now breaking out on multiple fronts. Doran really good, just standing in front of Peyz, keeping him alive as Delight gets pushed away from the fight. Ultimate's now down on these bottom laners.
Beautiful
for HLE.
From T1. They just chip away, and now it just feels like a foregone conclusion to try to contest this. Kanavi has Flash, but a steal I think is the best option. They're trying to look for Faker.
Yep, the wall is actually going to cut him off, but he still had Flash available as Peyz runs out of White Gun, but now has a very scary ultimate, although that's on cooldown. There's the knockup, but Kanavi just explodes! Peyz finds it! And Zeus now just trying to be the hero for his team. We know that Gwen is so incredibly important as Oner goes in, but might need to immediately go out. There are flashes just being blown left, right, and center, and it's Oner that has his up and available. Peyz able to get himself out of the way, and Zeus explodes! And now Zeka and Gumayusi just trying to deal with this. Sion, who gets a huge knock-up, interrupts the dash out of Guma, and he's just executed. The egg is going to get fried, and that is a clean ace for T1. Oh, I feel it. That game 3 right around the corner.
Right around the corner, and T1 said, in Peyz we trust. They said it in draft with the first pick, Milio. They said, you can take that Lucian. And in this team fight, I mean, it's a glorious team fight from start to finish. It gets a little bit long, so we cut parts of it off here, but Peyz does so much damage, and eventually we get to the point where Zeus is like, I have to try to make this call. I have to get on top of Peyz. If we can't kill this guy, this is just not playable. And that's the moment where he gets punished. Like, he just doesn't have the damage. There's too much damage otherwise. Doran, by the way, taking so much. Guma is not with him. If Guma's here with Zeus, maybe he sacrifices himself and they get that kill and Zeka could help clean up, but he's just not there. He's trying to kill Doran, and Doran's like, that's exactly where I want to be, is right in front of a Lucian.
And Doran just came in and ate honey fruit right in front of him. He had 100 health.
And if you can't kill Peyz in these fights, you can't win this game anymore, HLE.
And now he's got a shield bow as well, and so it's even more difficult to take down this Aphelios.
It's crazy, like, back in the old Aphelios days, you know, Guma played this pick a lot back when he first debuted on T1. We had items like Gale Force.
Yeah.
And, you know, the shield bow was a mythic item. It was way stronger than it is now. It's just now a normal item. And it's still like crazy how well they peeled for him, how well they played this team fight. I mean, this is a fed Gwen, was so ahead, just could not actually get the damage, could not get the kill onto him. Peyz is given so many resources in terms of how they're trying to peel for him, how he's positioning.
Oh, wait, Wolf. Do you think there's an angle for an Elder Flip?
Yeah, I mean,
you think
potentially in 4 minutes' time. I mean, there's a Baron here for T1. They don't have amazing siege. They're playing into Anivia.
Because, like, it requires this to be the Chijijik big top, right? Like, we're going to need T1 to continue the circus instead of very cleanly closing this game out, utilizing this Baron in order to just push all these waves, like, shut HLE out.
Triple Cloud Dragon, Cloud Soul.
They run very fast when they R-button, as Zeus dashing around here, but this inner turret is well and truly dead. And now in this late game that we have found ourselves in, the Milio value is just ludicrous.
I just think that in order to win this game for Hanwha Life eSports, it'll take, like, if you flip the Elder, it means T1's made a mistake, right? Because otherwise they could just sit back and play the same way they did on that last Dragon fight. And if Kanavi gets a steal, but he's the last one alive. It doesn't necessarily work out. If they get the steal, though, or if they're able to secure it, if they get prio somehow, which is so tough because Baron is still up for 50 more seconds. The T1 have so much vision already. Like, yes, the Elder is a ways away. Hanwha Life eSports will have some time. They have good wave clear. If Zeka has Elder buff and presses R towards the enemy champions, they will all explode, including Doran. But I just don't think it should be possible, right, for them to wrestle enough control away. It's going to have to be Zeus who starts up as maybe a pick onto Faker. Could be a great start.
Zeka is also crazy, but there's a headbutt pulverized to deny the gate. And the storm is a-brewing. Now Oner taking a full culling.
If they mess this up, HLE could end. They need to be really careful.
A long time to die, but he does eventually go down. That's a big pick for HLE. I just don't know what it means for being able to pick anything up off the back end.
There's no Elder for 3 minutes, but if T1 opted further, if they went full circus there and tried to turn that around while Faker was buying a bunch of time and then they got wiped there, or it even lost like 1 or 2 more members, HLE just pushed to end. They just end the game straight up.
Why does Doran have a 2-level advantage? That's insane.
Some things need to be observed a little bit more closely under a magnifying glass in order to answer, and I don't have much for you on this one.
I'll make sure I bring one next time.
He has spent a lot of time, you know, kind of alone in sides, but kind of a mystery.
Yeah, Doran actually just playing out this later game very, very effectively, only dying 1 time, just being that brick wall.
Offers him so many extra resistances now in longer fights too. It's the perfect item for him to pick up 3rd here, and it even deals with Gumayusi incredibly well. As this scuttle, again, fairly early to get for an Elder that spawns in 2 minutes, but relevant, as both Giga critical objectives will be up at the same time here, albeit with about 15 seconds between them.
Pretty good timing for Gumayusi to pick up his Infinity Edge, but we are pretty close to Peyz getting a GA on top of everything. And Faker has a very cool hat.
Setup with Zeus, by the way. If Peyz moves too far forward and they get a wall on Peyz, they can get his flash at least. They could just win the game.
Well, let's see. Fire Kick is going to disengage as Zeus looks to make his way in. The kick is going to get him out, but Kanavi finds the Crescent Guard. It's Peyz just going to cleanse out the exhaust, and Kanavi just goes down. They tried to take this Aphelios, but he's still on full health. Doran now standing in the front line. The Moonlight Vigil is going to miss, but Faker finds the back line. It's a wild card that kills Gumayusi, and Oner is going to catch up to Zeka. Procs that Zhonya's, and he's just going to see his death as the Anivia will go down. He'll take a Guardian Angel there from the Lee Sin, but Faker is able to take out the bird. And Zeus, the last man standing, and is not going to be enough to stop them from taking us to game 3.
They said, I'm not flipping Elder. I'm going to see if I can steal this game away. They looked for the angle onto Peyz. Kanavi, even though they did not find the angle, Kanavi says, well, guess I'll just send it. He tried. They made it very close, but ultimately Peyz survives, and T1 will bring us to 3.
This is what we all deserved from this matchup as well, as Zeus will be taken down. Delight might also die, but he looks to just park himself on the fountain and look for game number 3, and we will get one as T1 just launch themselves back into control of this series. We'll see whether the momentum can bring them towards a game 3.
I don't want to see any slander on that play from Zeus and Kanavi there.